Crash course on history of Ukraine in brief, and why does Russia want to control it? The history of Ukraine is complex and varied, shaped by the country's geography, political alliances, and cultural influences. Ukraine is located in Eastern Europe and is bordered by Russia to the east, Belarus to the north, Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary to the west, and Romania and Moldova to the south. Early history. Ukraine has a rich and ancient history, with evidence of human habitation dating back to the Paleolithic era. The region was inhabited by various tribes and peoples throughout history, including the Scythians, Sarmatians, Goths, Huns, and Slavs. Kievan Rus. In the 9th century, the region was united under the Kievan Rus, a powerful state that extended from present-day Ukraine to Belarus and Russia. The Kievan Rus played a significant role in the development of Eastern Slavic culture and Orthodox Christianity. Lithuanian-Polish Commonwealth. In the 14th and 15th centuries, Ukraine was conquered by the Grand Duchy of Lithuania and later incorporated into the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in the late 16th century. During this time, Ukraine's cultural identity and political autonomy were suppressed, leading to several unsuccessful attempts to gain independence. Russian Empire. In the late 18th century, Ukraine was annexed by the Russian Empire, and Ukrainian culture and language were suppressed. Throughout the 19th century, Ukrainian intellectuals and nationalists struggled for independence and cultural recognition, leading to several failed uprisings. Soviet Union. Following the Russian Revolution of 1917, Ukraine declared independence, but it was soon incorporated into the Soviet Union as the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic in 1922. During this time, Ukraine suffered from Stalin's forced collectivization and famine, which killed millions of people. Independence. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Ukraine declared independence and became a democratic state. However, the country has struggled with political instability, corruption, and economic challenges, including a war with Russian-backed separatists in the eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. Russia's interest in Ukraine. Russia has long viewed Ukraine as an essential part of its sphere of influence, given the shared history, language, and culture. Additionally, Ukraine serves as a strategic transit point for Russian gas exports to Europe, which generates significant revenue for Russia. In 2014, Ukraine's pro-Russian president, Viktor Yanukovych, was ousted in a popular uprising, leading to Russia's annexation of Crimea and its support for separatist rebels in eastern Ukraine. The conflict has resulted in over 13,000 deaths and ongoing tension between Russia and Ukraine. Interesting stories. 1. Chernobyl disaster. In 1986, a nuclear reactor at the Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine exploded, causing the worst nuclear disaster in history. The explosion released radioactive material into the air, contaminating large areas of Ukraine and neighboring countries. The disaster remains a significant part of Ukraine's history and has had lasting effects on the environment and public health. 2. Orange Revolution. In 2004, Ukraine held a presidential election that was widely viewed as rigged in favor of Viktor Yanukovych. In response, thousands of Ukrainians took to the streets in what became known as the Orange Revolution. After weeks of protests and international pressure, a new election was held, and Yanukovych's opponent, Viktor Yushchenko, was declared the winner. 3. Euromaidan. In 2013, Ukraine's government announced that it would not sign an association agreement with the European Union, opting instead for closer ties with Russia. This decision sparked protests in Kyiv's Maidan Nezalezhnosti, or Independence Square, which grew into a mass movement for democracy and European integration. 4. Crimean annexation. In 2014, Russia annexed Crimea, a peninsula in the Black Sea that had been part of Ukraine since 1954. The annexation was widely condemned by the international community, and the United States and European Union imposed economic sanctions on Russia. The conflict also escalated in eastern Ukraine, where Russian-backed separatists declared independence from Ukraine. 5. Holodomor. In the early 1930s, The Soviet government implemented forced collectivization and seized grain from Ukrainian farmers, leading to a devastating famine known as the Holodomor. Millions of Ukrainians died from starvation, and the event is widely viewed as an act of genocide by the Soviet government against the Ukrainian people. 6. Cossack Rebellion. In the late 16th and early 17th centuries, Ukrainian Cossacks rebelled against the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in a series of uprisings known as the Khmelnytsky Uprising. The rebellion was led by Hetman Bohdan Khmelnytsky and resulted in the establishment of the Cossack Hetmanate, an independent Ukrainian state. 7. Ukrainian language and culture. Ukraine has a rich cultural heritage, including traditional folk music, dance, and art. The country's language, Ukrainian, is an important part of its national identity and has undergone a revival in recent years. However, Russian remains widely spoken in Ukraine, particularly in the eastern regions. Conclusion. The history of Ukraine is complex and has been shaped by various external influences, including colonization, war, and political alliances. Russia's interest in Ukraine is driven by its strategic and economic importance, as well as its shared history and culture. However, Ukraine has fought for its independence and cultural identity throughout history, and its people continue to struggle for democratic reform and economic stability. The country's rich cultural heritage and resilience in the face of adversity make it a fascinating and inspiring place to learn about. Here is a poem on Russia-Ukraine War. Beneath the fiery sky of war, where brothers once stood side by side, now the echoes of conflict roar, as blood spills on the countryside. A land once peaceful, now in strife, as armies clash with deadly might, and innocence pays with precious life. In the never-ending fight, the drums of war pound in our ears, as the cannons light the night, and through the haze of smoke and tears, we pray for peace, for freedom's light. The flag of Ukraine stands tall against the darkening skies, and the people's voice, a powerful call for justice and the truth to rise. As the world watches with bated breath, the conflict rages on, and in the face of pain and death, the people stand, courageous and strong. For in this struggle for their land, their spirit will not break, and though they face a mighty hand, their resolve will not forsake. May the light of peace shine bright, and the winds of change blow strong. For in the end, it is the right that will triumph over wrong. So let us stand in unity with Ukraine in this hour of need, and pray for an end to this insanity, and for a brighter future to succeed. **** Start planning your next global adventure with ease and convenience with our Booking.com referral link. https://www.booking.com/index.html $8 equals 7989335 as a great choice to plan your next trip. You can find and book flights, hotels, cars, and local attractions all in one place, and their price match guarantee ensures you're getting the best deal. Thank you for kind support our AnHub Metaverse channel, and please watch more interesting videos here.